Shane McRae is out here going on what I would say is a epic viral rant that has captured an audience where people are sharing some of the similar sentimentism as he rags down on some of the leadership and seeing how bad it is, as there's an instance where a girl that he knew is getting promoted even though she pushed people to the very end of their life in their last breath. But let's get right into this video right here.
I don't understand how in the military, right, you can still promote somebody. Yo, leadership has failed, man, leadership has failed me so much in the Marine Corps. That shit don't make no fucking sense. Like, how could you promote somebody that pushed me to the brink of suicide and even push a female to the point where she took her life? Like, yo, they're about to promote this female to staff sergeant E6 after I literally requested mass, like, no shit, at my last duty station, like, really went through some shit. Like, yo, when I tell you, yo, like, I've had the worst leadership in my Marine Corps. As I'm here in, like, North Carolina, Camp Lejeune, I've had the best leadership. But before then, I've had the worst fucking leadership. People always talk about in the military about retention, about how to retain people. You can't retain people in an organization where leaders be fucking people over, man. Like,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Super from the Super Show. I want to talk about a post I saw today. I was actually not going to post anything at all today. I was going to mind my own business, let the world be. But I saw a really nice post today from POG Actual 169 that I'm like, damn, that's pretty good. You know, and had me think about doing a post about other really good military social media influencers I was going to recommend. I was going down the list. You know, I found Jameson Travels, and he had a good post with him and Shane McRae talking about toxic leadership. And then I found a better video with Shane and Nikki Management TV that was pretty good. And yes, I was in the Marine Corps. For most people, if you ain't figured out by my posts, for 8 years. The first 4 years I spent with 3rd Battalion 8 Marines. Then I was with the brig, and then I was with the base doing quality assurance. And honestly, the leadership you have in charge really kind of shape who you want to be. Because my first leadership, you know, we had Gunny Collins, we had Staff Sergeant Hargett, we have Staff Sergeant Sullivan, we had Corporal Crosswhite, Corporal Denmark, Corporal Brady, and these guys really shaped who I was going to be as a young Marine. As far as, these are the people I looked up to. These are the people that not only influenced me in how I want to lead my career, but how I treated my young Marines as well. Now, as all times, you know, you transition to new leadership. We transition to Gunny Cherry and Gunny White, and it was a complete day and night from how things was done. Where with my first leadership, it's about productivity. What are you doing? What are you doing to improve yourself? What can we do to help you improve yourself? Compared to Gunny Cherry, where if he wasn't white, you're not going to get promoted. And at that point in time, I was still a young corporal. I was very as most people will call a motivator. I was always in front, always leading company formations. Anytime we deployed anywhere, I always went advanced party. Anytime we came back, came back red party. So I was always the person in charge of my section. When we went to staff NCO meetings, people thought I was the first sergeant. People thought I was the sergeant. People thought I was the officer. Here I am as a corporal going to all these staff NCO meetings for my section. And believe it or not, it's hard work does not always equate promotion or being recognized as somebody who's doing good service, you know. It was up until this point, yes, I love the Marine Corps, had not thought about anything else about getting out the Marine Corps at this point in time. But here we have, you know, it was me, my buddies. We was all in at the same time. We all came out of boot camp about the same time. We all met up at infantry school of training. We went to MOS school together. We was our first duty station together. So these is no shades on these fellas, but this story includes me, my buddy Curry, and my buddy Boatman. You know, all three of us was going up for the promotion of sergeant at the same time. The only one that got promoted was my buddy Boatman, and my buddy Boatman got a DUI on base. And now you have Curry, you know, he's pretty much a below the radar guy, do it as little as possible, but you know, he gets the job done. Then you have me, high strung, highly motivated, let's get this done. So I'm thinking, okay, Boatman got promoted, all right, he's a hard worker, but a DUI on base. Me, highly recognized throughout the company, not promoted. My buddy Curry, I mean, he got nothing bad on his record. I mean, he's going up for promotion. At the very least, he should be promoted. So I went up to admin to find out, hey, you know, what's going on with my promotion, why it's not happening. Come to find out, the only paperwork that was turned in was just for my buddy Boatman. Now, for those of you who have not figured it out yet, Boatman was Native American, but he looked mostly Caucasian. Me and Curry were both black. And this new leadership had told him and Boatman that nobody was going to get promoted unless they was white. And of course, I didn't believe that up until when my buddy, no, don't get me wrong. This is my buddy. When he got promoted, I was there. Like I said, we've been friends the whole time. I'm not going to hold nothing against my friend. Hey, you got promoted, I'll give him his hugs. But that was the reason why I left 3rd Battalion and I went to the break. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, this is, you know, you coming off your last deployment, you did an outstanding job. You being held back not because of the work you did and how much these very same men count on you to do the job that they want you to do, but holding you back because of your skin color. And I'm like, this right here has to be for somebody like myself who is all about work ethic. Okay, anybody who knows me tell you I have 100% work ethic. Is about getting the job done. And I almost got out my first 4 years, but I ended up re-enlisting. I actually re-enlisted with my sergeant major. I actually got 6 months bonus time. And like I said, you know, worked at the brig, had a great time there. You know, you have a lot of guys who was drill instructors. One of the drill instructors there was actually my drill instructor from boot camp, Sergeant Stevens, who is now Staff Sergeant Stevens. And you know, this is where in the video where Shane was talking about you have things that start to influence you. I was always somebody that was PT oriented. I was all, you know, when people talk about going to play basketball or going to the gym, like, no, we about to go running. We in the infantry battalion. All my guys gonna be in shape. When we go on those long ass humps, we're gonna be in shape. No fucking body is gonna be catching a ride in that Humvee. We starting with the company, we finishing with the company. Cut, dry, bottom line. So when it came to, you know, leaving, and I'm like, you know, I kind of cut back on the running. When people wanted to go to the gym, went to the gym. When people wanted to play basketball, start playing basketball. But nothing, you run into people like your drill instructor. Anybody would tell you, when you run into your drill instructor, or even one of my seniors, Chief Warren Star Avahart, I mean, guys that just came back from being drill instructors, you can't be a motivator if you ain't motivated, okay? You can't be a motivator if you ain't motivated at this point in time. I mean, there was other stories that just kept breaking me down to the point where, you know, I was no longer that person I started out to be. And even coming down to the end of my enlistment, you know, as you can tell, I'm a thick guy. You can see my neck. My CO at the time put me on weight control because he thought I was overweight. No, this was Friday. He put me on weight control. Okay, by Wednesday, the following Wednesday, I was off weight control because number one, when I went to get weighed, it was like, one, you under your weight, but your neck, look at the size of your neck. You have more girth on your neck, so your body fat to neck ratio. People in the military know what I'm talking about. I can't remember the numbers, fellas, so don't think I'm gonna tell you. It's been 20 years ago. You don't need to be on weight control. So from Friday to Wednesday, I'm off weight control. Now fast forward a few months later, it's time for my fitness report, and I get an A. Now, for non-civilian people, you thinking an A is great. No, an A is actually the worst. An A is an adverse fitness report. And fellas, do you know what I got an adverse fitness report for? Being on weight control. For how many working days? 4 working days. So pretty much, this is, again, back to the video what Shane was talking about, where you have, toxic leadership that been in for a while, and they understand how to hold you back, and they know what they have to do to hold you back. Now, being on weight control for that little bit of time does not equate you getting an adverse fitness report. But that was really all it took for me to be like, you know what? As much as I love being a Marine, it's quite possibly some leadership, I'm not going to tell you all, some leadership don't think I'm worried being here, because it does matter to you, because if you out here putting in the work, just imagine for the regular civilian people, you go into your job, your boss asks you to show up, hey, can you work extra days? And you show up and you give them these extra days, and then your paycheck arrives, and not only was those hours not in your paycheck, but they also robbed you of another 40 plus hours. That's the feeling of this adverse fitness report. That's the feeling of not being promoted to sergeant on time, not because of the work I'm doing, but just simply because of the color of my skin. And I'm pretty sure, Shane didn't mention nothing about skin tone, but when it comes to anything bad that I had to say about the Marine Corps, it really just kind of come down to that. But for the most part, like I say, we was all friends. We all drank from the same cup. We all ate from the same spoon. But for the people at these pivotal points in my career that kind of changed the trajectory of what I wanted to be as a Marine, these is the people that changed. And this is the only reason why, I was going to do the one post and I ended up doing a completely different post, simply because this video with Shane, it kind of tells you the disappointment. That's probably the best word you could say. The disappointment in not just your brothers, but the people above you, because your brothers is your brothers. Like I say, Curry and Boltman, they my brothers. We rock tough. We've been through some shit together. We done got the job done. I'm not holding shame on that. It's the people ahead of you that's pretty much who's holding the keys to your car, and they tell you whether or not you even get in the car. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thank y'all. Hope y'all enjoy this post. I know I put a lot of stuff, always motivating stuff about the Marines and the service and stuff like that, because I like to put funny stuff. But when I saw this video with Shane, because Shane, I've seen the progress of those videos change, but he said it if you watch his whole original video, he said if you look at the videos I put, they actually about toxic leadership. So even though they were funny, but he was actually making fun of the very thing that was making him get out in the first place. So I'm gonna end it with that.